Black people are not treated fairly as white people. It's not fair. Are we white people? Yes. You. You. You.
Hello, my brothers and sisters. Hope you are fine wherever you are. Welcome to the channel once again. So, are we heading in the right direction? Are these Gen Zs coming up to kill this monster that has killed many, destroyed lives of many, and even made many die in poverty just because of their color? Can we change this? Are these young people our saviors? Can they change the direction that this world was heading to? So sit back, relax, and watch these Gen Z's talk their minds out. I'll be back with a little discussion.
My name is Daniel Mattingly, and apparently this school doesn't know better than to give an angry gay kid a microphone. No shade at all, but I came to the graduation planning to give a speech about my trauma influencing me as a person, and black, brown, and mixed youth are facing oppression nowadays and being forced to fear their own identities. I had a speech ready to cheer on and encourage oppressed youth, which makes up the entirety of the school. I was told by Mr. Dawson and Miss Imes, there's a time and a place. My speech is too negative, it's too controversial. This school is built on racism, sexism, and homophobia. I encourage everyone here today to stand up for yourself, even if it makes a scene. This school is fucking ridiculous. This school is ridiculous.
That's Daniel Mattingly, and that video of his speech from his 8th grade graduation from Stewart Academy here in Louisville is going viral. I got to talk with him today, and he said he originally had a different speech planned.
A majority of it was just explaining that I see that people are going through trauma and going through oppression today.
But teachers had told him it was too negative and said that he couldn't speak last minute. He still found his way up to the stage, and that's when he said this.
This school is built on racism, sexism, and homophobia. I encourage everyone here today to stand up for yourself, even if it makes a scene.
And Daniel told me his intention was never to paint the school in a bad light, but he just wanted to speak his truth and also to inspire his peers with his own story.
Whenever I was in 4th grade, I was taken to the living room by my parents, and they told me that they were diagnosed with cancer. The trauma that you face doesn't have to shape you.
Hi, my name is Brad Taylor, and I just finished my freshman year at RHS. I've been a part of District 196 schools now for 10 years, and I'm going to give you a glimpse today of what's actually going on inside these schools. Despite the board's attempt to deny it, District 196 schools are quickly becoming a place where promoting activism is actually more important than promoting education. I'll take you back to my first day at RHS this fall. The principal came out and gave us a heartfelt speech about equality and standing together. He began to list countless races, such as Latino, Asian, expressing how much they matter and how important they are. But never once did he mention a race or identity that reflects me, or half the kids that were in the class. Now, members of the board, I know you haven't been to school in a while, and I know none of you, or most of you, don't have any kids left in the school district. But you must admit how uncomfortable it will be to be characterized just by your skin color on the first day of school, and be thought that you were wrong just because of your skin color. So I will never forget the look one of my friends gave me from across the room as we were sitting there listening to this blatant bias being expressed in the so-called equity statement by the leader of our school. To be clear, I don't need you to tell me that I matter, but hearing the condolences given to other races and leaving just one race out, inevitably you'll start to feel like you've done something wrong. And in our principal's attempt to unify us, he instead created unwarranted boundaries and barriers between his students, pitting us against each other based on characteristics that we can't control. In another separate instance, I was told that writing "All Lives Matter" on the whiteboard was political and could be seen as offensive. When I questioned the teacher after class, she told me that she didn't have an answer and she just had to erase it, and it was quickly erased. There are political signs all over RHS, about specific races that matter, specific sexual orientations that matter, and specific perspectives that matter. But when I questioned the RHS administration about how these signs were political, they told me that they were supporting human rights. So when I questioned why the equity statement couldn't represent all students, they told me that to even ask that question was outlandish and offensive. And when I asked why that was, they told me, quote, "Whites have a pretty good situation right now," unquote. So is that not racism? Disregarding my question merely because of the color of my skin? To be honest, after enduring a year of the people in charge telling me that I'm a racist and I'm privileged and pointing out our irreversible differences, I've never noticed race more. And it's becoming the first thing I notice when I meet someone, which has never before been the case. RHS administration confidently told me that RHS students and staff are happy with their equity statement. But from my experience in talking with other students, this is not the case. I know many kids who disagree with their teachers, but they're too scared to stand up because they're worried that their grades will be docked and their learning experience will be affected. My honors government teacher, I'm not going to say his name, but he's mentioned that Democrats care more about all people while Republicans only care about themselves. And he's also inferred to us that socialism is better than democracy. He even had a statue. He had a statue of a socialist leader in his classroom. I've been told by a lot of kids that they just stay silent and adjust their schoolwork to reflect an acceptable opinion to secure a good grade. I've been approached by multiple teachers who have told me in private that they just want to say that they agree with me and they support me standing up, but they can't say it in front of the class for fear of being disciplined by the administration in some way or losing their jobs. There is clearly only one way to think in this district, and that is that they are teaching their kids to shut up if they don't agree. Now, members of the board, I want you to take a good look at yourselves in the mirror tonight and ask, are you really standing up for the equality of all people, or are you just pushing a damaging political ideology on our students? A fellow coworker at my job, who by the way is of color, discreetly told me that the schools seem to be pushing a very leftist agenda in class. This proved that not everyone is happy with your school, and not everyone who isn't happy is white. Now, due to all these instances I've mentioned and many more that I can't fit in this 5-minute speech, I've decided to leave this district and continue school on a private Christian school online. And there will be sacrifices, and I will not get to walk in the graduation ceremony or attend milestones at RHS, but I will be able to learn in an environment that is not intent on punishing me daily for my skin color and political views. Now, regardless of how you take my speech, whether you just shrug it off as malarkey or Fox News talking points, I encourage you to think about it, because someday I'm going to be a leader. I may be the president, a governor, or just a professional golfer, but I will never stop believing that everybody has value, no matter their skin color or personal beliefs, and it's a shame that you're not going to be able to say that I was an alumni of RHS in District 196. Thank you.
I know I don't understand your experience.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I have never had to live it.
Come on now.
I can sympathize, and I can recognize that things are wrong.
We're sisters and brothers here. Talk.
For instance, if a black man or woman should never be afraid for their life for getting pulled over for speeding.
Come on now. Come on.
But I have never lived in that fear.
Come on now. Come on.
No black man or woman should ever be reluctant to walk outside for fear of racial profiling.
Tell it, sister. Tell it.
But I have never been racially profiled.
That's right. Come on now.
No black man or woman should ever expect to go to jail in their lifetime because of the color of their skin.
Come on now.
But I have never lived in that expectancy.
That's good.
And this is why I don't believe in the phrase, I don't see color.
That's right.
One, to say you don't see color is a lie. We're different. We can all see that. But two, and way more importantly, to deny the differences in our skin is to deny the differences in our privilege.
Come on. Yeah.
I'm going to say that again because I think it's worth repeating. To deny the differences in our skin is to deny the differences in our privilege.
Yeah.
And that leads me to my next point. To deny the differences in our color is to promote ignorance.
Tell it, sister.
Ignorance is the reason that systemic racism and oppression is allowed to exist in this country.
Tell it, sister. That's good.
So why am I here? Why am I up here speaking?
Come on now. Tell them, sister.
I'm going to talk on about 3 things. One of those is change, the other is ignorance, and one is discomfort. I'll get there.
Go ahead. Take your time.
Broadly speaking, why am I here? Because I want change. But let me speak on that for a second. Because I think a lot of people want change.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people say they want change, but let me clarify. I think a lot of white people think they want change.
Come on.
But here's the thing about that. In order for there to be a true and genuine change, for you, for the black community, for people of color, there has to be an equal and requited amount of change for white privilege. And that is something that white people don't want to think about. They don't want to admit that. White people don't want to acknowledge the head start we have in life just for being born this color. You know what? That is willful ignorance. Willful ignorance is what allows oppression to continue in this country.
Together we stand. That's it.
So I'm going to talk on ignorance for a second. I think one of the biggest things that allows ignorance to continue is our education system.
There it is, baby.
Yes, ma'am. Our education system.
Yes, ma'am.
And what I mean by that is our education is a white man's education.
It is. Oh, yes.
It is a white man's history.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell it.
Why does that matter? Again, like I said, I can recognize when something is wrong. And that is wrong. Why? Because when you tell that history, the history that excludes black history and black culture and the black experience, you allow white people to think that nothing is wrong. And when that happens, you allow white people to think, well, it was bad back then, but it's not bad now. Hell no.
That's right.
It's bad now. In fact, some might say it's worse because this is systemic oppression.
That's right.
This is institutional oppression. This is oppression that is not overt, but it is just as powerful, and we are able to hide it. And I have more to say. If you want to hear all of it, please come out Saturday.
We'll be there.
Thank you. We appreciate it. But just know the reason I'm here is because I stand by you. I support you. I love each and every one of you out here. We are brothers and sisters to the day we die. And this is not my time to have my voice heard, but I will use my voice for you. I promise.
Thank you.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
That's a great question. Black?
What is your current race?
I'm white.
What is one thing that you take pride in about being white?
There's a lot I look down upon being white.
What is something that you appreciate about black culture?
I just went to a recent concert that had a lot of black artists that I think are extremely inspiring. A lot of what they rap about is something that I cannot experience firsthand, and I'd like to understand it better, and part of that understanding I don't think I will achieve because I'm white.
So I've been doing this hairstyle for the past 2 days and I'm just a little bit obsessed with it, yeah. So I decided I'm gonna make it a trend. I'm gonna call it Sticky Bangs, and I love it. So if you want a tutorial, just tell me you want one.
How do you think that Gen Z has changed fashion as a whole?
Some kids are like
so crazy right now.
Some kids are like, I only wear thrifted stuff, so like kind of like split.
Right, like
I think it's this like revitalized revolutionist.
I think we're starting to reuse a lot of the stuff, and I don't think it's looked down upon to reuse like pieces very often.
Like I'll see a lot of Y2K mixed with like 70s and 80s.
A big wave of independent designers and brand thrifting platforms like Depop.
Fashion's changing, like Gen Z is like adapting as like we're these rebels, and like we're bringing this new revolution of fashion.
Hey, I want to show you something. I've been saying for a while that Gen Z was going to be the generation to really propel us forward and spark change, but let's take a look at Generation Alpha. The majority of America will be minorities by 2045, with white people dipping below 50% of the population. You can see that Gen Z is going to be the last generation in America with the majority of a white population. Generation Alpha has the largest minority population. In around 2045, white people will fall below 50%. I'll just leave this information here, but I just want to say that I am so excited to see this change in my lifetime.
This one to my homegirls. If I told you I stopped fucking with him and you check my location and I'm at his house, whoop-de-fucking-do. If I told you I stopped fucking with him and you see us out to eat, you see his name pop on my motherfucking phone, whoop-de-fucking-do, bitch. I can't leave him alone.
What does drip mean?
Like style. Yeah, like if you see me right now, you say I'm drippier.
If you want to call somebody cool, what would you say? Like
Probably like mad lit on God or something.
mad lit on God?
Yeah, or like
G-O-D?
Yeah, mad lit on God, no cap.
Welcome back, guys. So as you have seen in this compilation, you will realize that there is some light at the end of the tunnel. They say you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. I've seen the meaning of this statement. You see, this generation has come out differently, going against the odds and saying it the way it is, calling a spade without fear or favor. The other day we talked about these white kids being taught behind closed doors how to be racist. This thing is taught to them when they are still young so that they grow with it in their brain. Now when we see this generation coming out to talk against this odd, we see a generation of hope, a people that cannot be divided by mere propaganda that their parents don't know. What their parents don't know is that this is a different era. This is not the era that information was only available on media. Media controlled how information was passed or fed to the population. They chose which information would reach these people and which information will not be available to the citizens in that country. It seems to these parents that we are still living in that time when information was released to the people, that which beneficiary to those that released it. The media was controlled by benefiters of that information. Not everything that was reported was true, but it was for their benefits. These parents still think that we still live in that time of their grandparents. What these people haven't realized is that we are in a different era, in a different world where news from across the globe is available everywhere. Everything that a person wants to know is available. Every information somebody wants to know is available just by a press of a button, and you will know what is going on around the world. Information from way back, from the days of our forefathers, is also available. Right now, social media has made the old world look like a small village for these Gen Zs, because everything they want to see is available for them. Even the past injustices that are not taught in schools, the kids find them easily on this platform. So comparing these people with those in the past is just a waste of time. You tell him this, but when he goes online, he gets the correct information. You tell this young person about being racist, can't make any impact because he knows the history from the past and he knows the truth. In the video, you find that girl saying that the education being taught in schools was meant for whites. You can realize that this is an informed person. She knows the truth. She has done a lot of survey and has all the facts on her fingertips. You can't go ahead and convince her in any way. She knows herself. She knows the past very well, more than those her grandparents. She is informed with information from the beginning to the end. So this is the generation that we are talking about. They are informed. They search for information from every different platforms until they come to the root of all these matters. It's not like in the past, where the white supremacists benefited a lot from this racism. It benefited them in many ways. That's why they will not let that thing go away, because they were seen as superiors. But as for these Gen Zs, you get black people fought for equality and won. So today everyone is seen as equal. So this racism thing seems like a waste of time. When you see these young whites coming out to speak their minds, just know that we are heading in the right direction. We are no more in that covered world where everything is hidden. The truth is hidden, history is hidden, injustice is hidden. Even our own past cannot be found. I appreciate you taking your time to listen to me. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. Also like, share, and always leave a comment for me. I'd like to know your thoughts. See you on my next episode.